guests is Pam and Angela from The Office. Their book, The Office BFFs, Tales of the Office from Two Best Friends Who Were There, is on sale now. Please welcome to the show, Jenna Fischer and Angela Kinsey, everybody!
It's so fun to be here.
This is usually the time of year where I would see you guys because you obviously shot The Office in LA, but we both had NBC shows and upfronts, which happened today. You would often come out, maybe to the SNL beforehand, and you had a picture of your New York party days. And it's so cool because it's the two of you and BJ Novak, but it looks like it could be the three of us.
Yeah, you know, we are sober in that picture.
Totally sober.
Totally
We are, I
sober
swear.
and living it. Really?
Totally.
Yeah.
You're going to double down on that?
Yes.
No, we weren't. We loved the dance floor. Seth, you might remember at that upfronts, because you were there, that Jenna and I made up a dance where we filed papers in the cabinet.
We're going to show me. Let's do it.
We did
Oh,
this.
this is
we,
great.
we- yeah, okay.
Goes like this. Ready? And
Okay, we get. Oh, I got it.
Okay, very good.
thank you.
Very on brand. Very on brand. It's very, I will say, I've been to a lot of upfronts parties, and you guys definitely did the only dance that was thematic to your show, and that was really appreciated at the time.
We like to do that.
So you're going back. This podcast is you guys recollecting your time together on the show. Obviously, you were both there the whole time. How often do your memories differ?
Oh my gosh. Well, when we started writing this book, there was one that came up right away, which was that when you guys, she got us backstage at the Emmys on the actual stage.
Here's what happened.
Okay, now listen. Here's the thing. She was hungry.
I don't like to be hungry.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not one of those actresses that doesn't eat food. I
Got
like
it.
to eat the food, and I eat a lot of food, and I was very hungry.
Sure.
And we couldn't find food anywhere, so I said, Angela, come on, we gotta get something to eat. So I found this nice lady, and she had a headset and a clipboard.
Yeah, she walked very fast, and
Yes.
she kept going, shh, shh, shh.
And she took us to this little, like, tent, like a dimly lit tent.
It was not a tent. It was a giant curtain on the Emmy stage. The Emmy presenters and people were right there, and she was like, shh.
But there was a whole, like, charcuterie station.
Yeah.
And there were these cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
but we
you're-
didn't realize I forgot this story when we were writing the book. Angela said, we have to tell about that time that Lawrence Fishburne was giving a stink eye because you were eating the salami next to him.
I mean, I vaguely heard him say something like, who the F are these folks? And then I said, Jenna, wrap it up. Shove the salami. Oh, wait, that's not bad. But you know what I mean. Like, just,
Yeah.
That's what she says.
There we go. Thematic. You guys, but now this is very interesting because I've talked to many of your former castmates, all of whom have said that they are more recognized from The Office now than they were when the show was on NBC. Like, people have found the show over the years a great deal. Now, yet it was a hit when it was on TV. When did you realize that it was a hit for you guys when it was airing?
at the time?
Yeah.
We were almost canceled every week
Yeah.
for almost the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But I remember, what do
The
you think?
Christmas episode.
Yes,
yes.
of season 2. But that was because they put it on the iPods.
Remember?
You could download it onto
Yeah.
your iPod.
Yeah.
And we were the #1 downloaded show.
Yeah.
So people were not actually watching us live on television.
Yeah.
They were watching it on the iPod. And then
I-
we were like, well, we might have a job for a while.
Yeah.
And I went out and I bought a Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when we knew. When we
Yeah.
saw Angela in the Honda, we're like, that show's working.
Yeah.
One of the things you guys write about, which is fascinating to me, because obviously everyone in this cast was often in the background of scenes, more than any other show you could imagine. What did you put into your background acting, and did you approach it the same way?
Well, I did a lot of journaling in the background, and I wrote my grocery list in the background because our computers didn't work for the
Yeah.
first 2 seasons. They were props.
They were just a plastic box.
Did they eventually start? In the 3rd season, did they give you
my
working
God,
We
computers?
got internet.
It was such a big thing They gave us a memo that said, today you have internet. I was so excited, I saved it.
She wanted to put it in the book, and I said, Angela, I just don't think that's going to land for people who weren't there. I think it was like you had to be there kind of thing.
I don't know. I think I understand, because if you actually go back and watch those episodes with the eye of knowing you guys are just staring at plastic boxes, that seems like really rough.
Yeah.
That's like a reality show now. It's not, it's like who can last the longest without losing their minds.
Who's going to tap out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say, Angela, I feel like I'm guilty of this too, which is, you know, obviously the Angela on the show was somebody who sort of famously didn't like small talk. And I think that because you look like the character and you have the same name, people maybe assume that was true of you. And yet I've always found you to be lovely. Is that what you found from other fans as well?
People always think I'm going to be a grump. Right? Yeah. Also, I now have like a resting bitch face. After 9 years, my face just goes like, and I don't even know.
Yeah.
But then like someone at Target will be like, I love the show. And I'm like, thanks so much. How are you doing? How's your day? Did you get bangs? Because I feel like that frames your face so cute. And they're literally like, I gotta go. So I'm like, okay.
Your father actually, did he have his own paper company or work at a paper company?
My father, Jim, he worked at Boise Cascade, and they make paper.
Okay, so was he extra proud when you got your job at a fictional paper company?
Yeah, you know, I asked the costume designer if I could swipe one of the Dunder Mifflin shirts. This was early on, before they were part of the merchandise.
Yeah, before you guys even had internet.
Yeah, exactly. And she gave it to me. I gave it to him for Christmas, and he would wear it, and people would say, oh, is that the company you work for, Dunder Mifflin? And he would say, no, my daughter is the receptionist there. And then people would be confused. And then as the show got more popular, you know, then...
They had to work backwards to realize he was bragging about you.
Yes, exactly.
When you rewatch the shows, my first half of this question is for you. Do you find the sort of Jim and Pam romance as sort of uncertain that the audience did as they were watching it unfold?
Yeah, you know, so for our podcast, it's a rewatch, and I haven't watched most episodes since they aired originally. I always watched them after they aired, but back then my brain was so caught up with like, oh shoot, they cut that scene, or oh wow, that improv made it in. That's so cool. But now I feel like I'm really watching it as an audience member, and it's very surreal. I can't even believe it's me. I can't believe I'm Pam, and I'm watching this whole thing happen, and it's like I know what's gonna happen because I shot it.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, is he gonna tell her? Why isn't he telling her?
Well,
so,
that just speaks to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I really get the audience perspective through this rewatch, for sure.
Do people come up to you often about Angela and Dwight?
Here are the things I hear about Dwangela.
Dwangela?
I hear, ew, gross. Why do we need to see that?
It's very nice that people can feel that they can be honest with you. I think that. What has it been like, this realization that there's generations of new fans who have watched this, especially on streaming, where they're just churning through it so much faster, obviously, than when it aired, over and over again, because it is, I think, a show that has provided people a lot of comfort over the years, and it doesn't get less funny, but they feel the same connection to the characters. What has that felt like? Because you must hear it all the time.
It's really cool. I mean, it makes me happy to know that parents we meet are now watching it with their kids, and they say sometimes it's the only thing we do together is we watch the show. And I had shows like that growing up. Jenna and I both have talked about that. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I know that sometimes we're just on in the background while people are making dinner, just keeping you company.
Yeah.
It's really cool because it's, you can put it on at any time. You don't have to wait for the next episode. It's when you want it.
It is a little weird, though, sometimes. Like, I had a kid come up to me, and he said, you look like the older lady from The Office. Are you the older lady? And I said, I am the older lady. That's me.
And I got bad news. That was the younger version of me. Hey, are you the old guy from Weekend Update? I'm like, I'm going to slap you.
Exactly.
Hey, congratulations on the book. The podcast is wonderful. And thank you. It's so wonderful to see both of you again, especially together. Thank you. I love you both as well. You guys, Jenna Fischer and Angela Kinsey, The Office BFFs is on sale now. And all 9 seasons of The Office are streaming on Peacock. We'll be right back with more Late Night.